My world shattered when the woman I was meant to marry looked me in the eye and said she needed a break. Not from us, but to go explore things with her ex. What happened next? Well, it might just surprise you. For what felt like an eternity, I, Liam, at 27, had believed I was marrying the love of my life, Tessa. We'd been together for 4 years, and for most of that time, I genuinely thought we were rock solid. But now, as I look back, I can only wonder why I didn't see the cracks forming sooner. We met at a birthday, introduced by a mutual friend. Tessa, then 26, was hilarious, confident, and possessed a no-nonsense attitude that I instantly adored. I'd dated before, but no one ever connected with me the way she did. Things moved fast, naturally. We moved in together after a year, and it felt right, like we were perfectly aligned on careers, marriage, and eventually a family. She was a freelance graphic designer. I was a project manager in tech. Our lives synced up. It wasn't a glamorous life, but it was happy, simple, and ours. We'd talked about getting married for ages, but it wasn't until last year that I finally proposed. Nothing grand, just a quiet dinner at home, just the two of us. Tessa seemed over the moon. She cried, hugged me tight, and said yes. That night, we started mapping out our future. A fall wedding, a small guest list, that charming little lakeside venue. Everything seemed to be falling perfectly into place. Or so I thought. The first red flags were small, almost imperceptible whispers I chose to ignore, because I didn't want to overthink. Her initial enthusiasm for wedding planning, for example, just faded. She'd been all in, sending me Pinterest boards, sifting through dress ideas, even asking about tiny details like whether I preferred tulips or roses for centerpieces. But then, it just stopped. I'd ask her about bridesmaids, and she'd just shrug. Not yet. Still thinking. The same pattern emerged with her dress, the cake, the music. Every decision we'd once been so excited about became something she wanted to postpone. There's still time, she'd insist, as if the wedding itself was an afterthought. I told myself it was just stress, that wedding planning can be overwhelming, and Tessa had a lot on her plate with work. I assumed she'd snap out of it. What I didn't realize was that her lack of enthusiasm wasn't about the wedding at all. It was about us. The real slap in the face came one night when we were out with friends. Someone brought up that ridiculous TikTok game, where you answer personal questions with a straight face. Everything was lighthearted until the question came. If you could relive one relationship, which would it be? Without a second's hesitation, Tessa blurted out, "Oh, probably Dylan." Just like that. Dylan. Her college ex. The one who cheated on her. The room went silent. Awkward. She giggled, tried to backtrack. I mean, not that I'd want to, it's just a significant part of my past. I wanted to confront her right then, right there, but we were in front of friends, so I swallowed it. Later, when we were alone, I asked her about it. What was it about Dylan? Why would you want to revisit that relationship? She simply shrugged as if it were nothing. It was a stupid game, Liam. Don't take it so seriously. She grinned and changed the subject. I didn't push it. Honestly, I didn't want to start a fight over something that could have been minor. But deep down, it festered. After that, her behavior became harder to ignore. Her phone was constantly in her hand, and I'd catch her scrolling through texts with a cheeky little smile. She started coming up with vague excuses for why she couldn't hang out or why she'd cancel plans last minute. "Oh, sorry, I just have a lot of work to catch up on tonight." Or, "I promised my mom I'd visit this weekend." The justifications weren't suspicious on their own, but they were piling up. It felt like I had become less of a priority. Then came that Friday night. The night everything changed. I got home from work early, excited to spend the evening with Tessa. I pictured us ordering takeout, binging a show, a quiet, normal night. But when I walked in, the air felt thick, heavy. She was on the couch, laptop open, but she wasn't working. She was staring blankly at the screen. "Hey, I'm home," I murmured, hoping to cut through the tension. "You're early," she said, almost like it was an accusation. I shrugged it off, went to the kitchen to start dinner. But the silence in the house was deafening. Usually she'd ask about my day, or tell me about hers. Tonight, nothing. Finally, I turned. "Is everything okay?" She snapped her laptop shut and looked at me. "Actually, there's something I need to talk to you about." My stomach plummeted. You know that feeling when you just know something terrible is coming, but you can't stop it? That was me, standing there like an idiot with a spatula in one hand. I walked over and sat across from her. "All right," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "What's going on?" She paused, as if searching for the right words, then just blurted it out. "I've been thinking about us and about Dylan." I swear, I almost laughed. "Dylan? Are you serious? What about him?" She bit her lip, avoiding my gaze. I think I need some time to figure things out. I'd like to take a break and see if there's still something there with him." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You want to take a break and date your ex? Are you out of your mind, Tessa? We're engaged." "It's not like that," she hurried, trying to smooth it over. "I just want to know if I'm making the right choice with you. And if it doesn't work out, I promise I'll come back." That's when I saw the true depth of her audacity. She actually expected me to sit around, waiting, while she decided if I was good enough. Something shifted inside me at that very instant. I didn't yell. I didn't explode. I just sat there, staring at her, wondering how the hell I had been so blind. I wasn't sure how to respond at first. My fiancée just told me she needed a break to explore things with her ex, Dylan. What do you even say to that? Finally, I asked, so what exactly does this break mean to you? My voice came out calmer than I felt. She straightened up slightly, as if she'd rehearsed this. I think we need some space. I'll take some time to see if my feelings for Dylan are genuine. And you're welcome to ponder on us as well. I couldn't believe the sheer nerve. Wait, I leaned forward. You're saying you need to date your ex, but I need to reflect on us? What kind of twisted logic is that? Tessa sighed, as if I were the one being unreasonable. It's not about you doing something wrong, Liam. This is about me figuring out what I need. She seemed to have practiced this, the way she spoke, the way she avoided eye contact. It was as if she'd already decided this was happening, and simply wanted me to accept it. You know this sounds insane, right? I muttered. You don't just put your fiancé on hold while you go play, what if with some guy who treated you like garbage? Her face tightened, and for the first time, I saw how stubborn she could truly be. I'm not asking for permission, Liam. I'm telling you what I need. That landed differently. I wasn't just sad anymore, I was furious. I stood up and started pacing, trying desperately to calm myself down. So what, Tessa? You're just going to pack a bag and head over to Dylan's place? Is that your big plan? No, she insisted. It's not like that. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I need clarity before we move forward. I owe it to myself to know I'm making the right decision. You owe it to yourself? I asked, a cruel laugh escaping my lips. And what about what you owe me? We're engaged, Tessa. We're supposed to be building a life together. And now you're telling me you need to test drive your ex to make sure I'm good enough? I never said you weren't good enough, she replied, her voice rising. But if we're going to spend the rest of our lives together, I have to be certain. And right now, I'm not. That was it. She wasn't just interested in exploring things with Dylan. She was fundamentally unsure about me. Even after 4 years, all our plans, she was still unsure. It hit me all at once. She truly didn't understand how utterly hurtful and idiotic her request was. She believed this was reasonable, that I'd just sit there while she figured out whatever foolishness was going through her head. I stopped pacing and just looked at her, really stared at her. You know what? Sure, I responded, my tone utterly flat. Take your break. She blinked, surprised by how quickly I agreed. Liam, I'm not trying to hurt you. I need space to figure things out. I nodded, keeping my expression blank. All right, if that's what you need. She paused, as if expecting me to argue, to fight for her. When I didn't, she stood up, grabbed her laptop, and murmured, I'll stay at my mom's for a bit. This isn't forever. We'll talk when I've had some time, okay? Okay, I replied simply. She looked at me for another beat, then disappeared into the bedroom. I could hear her moving around, throwing items into a bag. I remained perfectly calm on the couch, but my mind was already racing. If she really wants a break, fine. She can have it. By the way, if you're still with me and this story has you hooked, make sure to hit that subscribe button. More unbelievable real-life dramas are coming your way. Several minutes later, I heard the front door close. She was gone, perhaps believing she'd abandoned me here, to wait and worry. She had no idea I wasn't going to sit around and do nothing. She could have her fantasy, but I had other, much more concrete ideas. As soon as she was gone, I called my best friend, Noah. He's been my rock since college, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. After I laid out the whole unbelievable story, he showed up with pizza, and we spent the entire night scheming. Dude, he reminded me, you know she's going to try to crawl back once things don't work out with Dylan, right? He was absolutely right, of course. The more we talked, the clearer it became. I needed to be proactive. This wasn't about vengeance. It was about regaining control of my own life. I started with the house. Tessa always loved to act like it was our home, always talking about the curtains and paint colors she chose. But she conveniently forgot it was entirely in my name, and I was the one paying the mortgage. First thing Monday morning, I called a realtor. They came by, and we decided to list it immediately. The market in our neighborhood was hot, and we already had several potential buyers lined up. Tessa had no idea. She probably believed I was sitting there, forlorn, in our shared home, just waiting for her to sort out her feelings. The next step was to methodically remove her from my life. Remember those live, laugh, love placards she insisted on putting up? Gone. Those fancy throw pillows she just had to have? Donated. Her clothing and personal belongings she left behind? I carefully packaged them all up. But this is where I got strategic. Instead of just dropping her stuff off at her mother's house, or having her come fetch them, I hired a moving company. They took everything to her mom's, leaving behind a short, precise note. Here's your stuff. Good luck with Dylan. I know some of you might think that's petty, but I disagree. I wasn't being vengeful. I was being efficient. She wanted space to think things through. Well, she got it. Literally. The most fascinating part was when mutual friends started asking questions. Instead of playing the victim or slandering her, I simply stated the truth. Tessa decided she needed to explore things with her ex before committing to marriage. I decided I deserved better than being someone's backup plan. You should have seen how people reacted to that. No drama, no accusations, just facts. It's amazing how quickly the narrative shifts when you don't try to manipulate it. I'd also been making moves at work. I applied for a position at our West Coast office, a role I'd been considering for a long time. If the house sold, which now seemed incredibly likely, and I got this job, I'd be starting over on the other side of the country. Tessa tried to contact me multiple times that week. First with lighthearted texts, "Hope you're doing okay," then progressing to increasingly concerned messages when she realized I was actually making changes, not simply waiting around. Yesterday, she was in a panic when her mother told her the boxes had been delivered. "What are you doing? Why are you acting like this is over?" I kept my response simple. "Because it is over, Tessa. You made your choice, and now I'm making mine." She started crying, claiming she just wanted time to figure things out, that I was being hasty, and that this wasn't what she meant when she asked for a break. "What did you expect?" I questioned her. "That I'd sit here like a faithful puppy while you test drove your ex? That's not how this works." "But what if I realize you're the one I want?" she wailed. "Then you'll have learned a valuable lesson about not taking people for granted," I said, before hanging up. The weirdest thing is, I wasn't upset anymore. Instead, I felt liberated. Every box I packed, every move I made felt like I was reclaiming parts of myself I didn't even realize I'd given up. Noah came by again yesterday to help me pack some more. "You seem different," he observed. "More focused." He was right. When Tessa first revealed her desire to pursue things with Dylan, I felt like my world was collapsing. Now I saw it wasn't my world collapsing, but rather the false reality I'd been living in finally disintegrating. The West Coast position? I got it. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. The house is officially under contract, and the closing is slated for next month. But that's only the beginning. What's truly fascinating is how Tessa's Dylan exploration was unfolding. Through mutual connections, I discovered their rekindled flame wasn't quite the fairy tale she envisioned. Apparently, for years hadn't changed him much. He was still the untrustworthy guy who cheated on her in college. But here's when it got really good. Tessa had been trying to control the narrative on social media, sharing vague, inspirational phrases about finding yourself and following your heart. So, I decided to play the same game, but with a twist. I made a single factual post. Life update. Excited to announce I've accepted a position in San Francisco. Sometimes when one door closes, better ones open. Looking forward to this new chapter. The comments and texts poured in. People congratulated me, asked about the relocation, and of course, wondered about Tessa. I kept my answers basic and honest. We're no longer together. She wanted to explore other options, so I'm exploring mine too. This set off a fantastic chain reaction in our social circle. Those friends who weren't quite sure about the situation, watching me handle this with grace while Tessa shared cryptic relationship quotes, completely changed the atmosphere. Then came the professional consequences. Tessa's freelance design work relied heavily on recommendations and networking. Sarah, a mutual contact in the tech field who used to refer many clients to Tessa, contacted me. "I need to know what happened," Sarah explained over coffee. "Tessa's telling people you're having a temporary separation to grow individually, but something feels off." I shared Tessa's exact words about wanting to date Dylan. Sarah's look said it all. She didn't need to hear anything more. By the end of the week, numerous potential clients had pushed back their projects with Tessa. Not because I said anything nasty, but because, honestly, who wants to work with someone who takes commitment so lightly? Tessa sensed the shift. Her texts became more frequent, more frantic. "Why are you telling people about Dylan? You're ruining my reputation. This isn't fair." I answered the last one. "You got what you wanted, time and space. How I spend mine is no longer your concern." Then came the turning point. Dylan, in his wonderful wisdom, shared a photo of them together at the restaurant where Tessa and I had our first date. It was painfully evident she was trying to recreate our history with him. It was both sad and darkly amusing. The post didn't last long, but the damage was done. Our friends saw it, and the remaining few who had supported Tessa's Finding Myself story lost all respect for her. Even her own sister contacted me. "I'm so sorry about how she's handling this," she said. "You deserve better." What's the most satisfying part? I didn't have to be vengeful. I simply lived my life freely and honestly, whereas Tessa attempted to play both sides. The truth has a way of emerging. She visited my office yesterday. Dylan seemed to have already revealed his true colors. Flirting with other women, being untrustworthy, a familiar story. She was crying. "I made a huge mistake," she sobbed. "I was scared of commitment. I thought I needed to know if there was something better out there. But I was wrong. You're the best thing that ever happened to me." I simply gazed at her calmly. "No, Tessa," I said. "The best thing that ever happened to me was you showing your true colors before we got married." She attempted to argue, claiming we could fix this, that she would go to counseling, that she would prove she could be trusted again. I simply shook my head. "You don't get it, do you? This isn't about Dylan anymore. This is about you thinking you could keep me as a backup while you explore your options. That's not love. That's convenience." She left my office distraught, but I felt better than ever. The house closes next week. The majority of my belongings are packed, and my new life in San Francisco begins in a month. The funny thing is, some folks think I'm being overly tough. Everyone makes mistakes, they explain. However, this was not a mistake. It was a choice. There were actually several choices involved. Each time she texted Dylan, every time she lied about where she was, she spent every second planning to put our engagement on hold. These were all choices. San Francisco is everything I imagined it would be. My new apartment has a stunning view of the bay, and the tech scene here is fantastic. My new office team is brilliant. It's refreshing to be around people who prioritize growth and innovation over drama. First, let me catch you up on how things truly ended back home. The closing went smoothly, and the house actually sold for more than the asking price. It was quite something to hear Tessa's reaction after she found out through mutual friends. She genuinely didn't believe I'd sold the house until she drove by and saw the new owners moving in. But here's where it got really interesting. Remember Dylan? He reached out to me of all people. He sent me a long message about how he never meant to cause problems and that Tessa had contacted him first, months before she requested the break. That's right. Tessa had been planning her little exploration for quite some time, messaging Dylan for months, carefully laying the groundwork for her backup strategy. What's with the irony? Dylan ended their relationship because, as he put it, if she could do this to you, she could do it to anyone. Tessa's professional fallout has been significant. Remember all the clients she'd lined up? Most of them found other designers. Not because I said anything, but because word spreads quickly in a tight-knit industry. One of her largest clients actually contacted me. We heard what happened with the engagement, they told us. We're looking for someone who can commit to long-term projects. Do you know any reliable designers? I recommended a talented acquaintance of mine, and she received the contract. Karma, I suppose. Tessa's social media meltdown has been something to behold. First came the sorrowful quotations about losing your soulmate, followed by angry posts about toxic people who can't handle growth. Finally, she made desperate attempts to show everyone how absolutely delighted she was. The final one was quite interesting. She wrote about beginning her own design firm. 3 days later, she started sending out job applications. Last week, her sister contacted me again. Tessa has apparently been staying with their parents, stating she needs time to heal from our separation. Her sister's exact words were, "She really thought you'd wait for her. When you sold the house and moved, it broke her fantasy completely." The most reassuring moment occurred during a video call with our old friend group. They were telling me about local gossip, and someone described seeing Tessa at a coffee shop, explaining to a potential customer why her portfolio website was down. Apparently, she forgot that I was the one who set it up and maintained it. She couldn't figure out how to restore her hosting membership when it expired. Not my concern anymore. My new life here is coming together beautifully. I've joined a local rock climbing club, begun taking Spanish lessons, and even adopted a dog from a local shelter. His name is Zeus, and he's a far greater companion than my ex-fiancé ever was. The tech community here is incredibly inviting. Last week, I was invited to speak at a developer conference, which would not have happened if I had stayed at home, dragging dead weight. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you're not held back. I had one last, final interaction with Tessa. She sent me an email requesting some old images from our shared cloud storage. I had previously downloaded what I wanted and terminated the account several weeks ago. Her email stated, "I know you're trying to erase me from your life, but you can't just delete our memories. Those 4 years meant something." My reply was simple. "You're right. Those years taught me what I don't want in a partner. Thanks for the lesson." Some mutual acquaintances still believe I am being too harsh and should be more understanding of her moment of confusion. However, that wasn't a moment. It was a calculated decision to keep me as a safety net while she pursued what she believed to be a better option. What is the most important thing I've learned from all of this? Sometimes the worst things that happen to you result in the absolute best outcomes. If Tessa hadn't shown her true colors, I could have married her, only to learn her genuine personality years later, possibly with children in the mix. Instead, I'm in a vibrant city with a wonderful job, making new friends, and feeling profoundly optimistic about the future. The anguish of betrayal has been entirely replaced by thankfulness for the gunshot I avoided. For anyone going through a similar situation, know this. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't wait around for them to alter their mind about you. Life is simply too short to be someone's backup plan. Sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away and make things better for yourself. This chapter of my life has officially ended, and I couldn't be more excited for the next one to begin. What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had to choose yourself over someone who saw you as just an option? I really want to hear your thoughts in the comments below.